He is a man with a closet full of tan pants and tan dad hats, and no thank you to both.
It's time to take A Therapeutic Dose, a prescription-strength reality TV podcast that explores the intersection of reality TV and therapy. Possible side effects may include entertainment, strong emotional reactions, and/or laughter. Here are your hosts, Ramona Ramirez and Margie McGee.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Therapeutic Dose, where we meet at the intersection of reality TV and therapy. I am Margie McGee, and with me, as always, is my dear friend and co-host.
Hi, I'm Ramona Ramirez Higgins. How you doing?
Hi. Good.
Hi.
Anyways, we already are on fire about this episode, so should we just jump into it?
Yeah, I would love to. This is Summer House, Season 10, Episode 4. The episode is titled Heated Rivalry. Okay, yeah, they saw the opportunity, they took it. And it's true. Shouldn't be, but someone doesn't know how to play. Someone doesn't know how to be a friend.
Yeah, Jesse's gross, period.
He is, TLDR. Mm-hmm.
This is the thesis statement of this season. Well, it was last year too. He's been like, he's just been developing into a pig in front of our very eyes. And no matter how much crooning you do, it doesn't cover up what a jackass you are. What an insensitive, selfish turd.
Repugnant. And I told you before we started recording, for me, especially the second time I watched it when I was taking notes, because I watched it for fun and for free the first time. I give myself that treat, and then I watch it for notes. Today, when I took notes, Jesse crossed over from selfish, self-centered, annoying jackass, clueless, like, are you kidding me? To dangerous. I find this man to be toxic. Like, he was toxic, but he was kind of like average dumb dude toxic.
I disagree completely. I think he's been diabolical from jump. What he did last year with Lexi was disgusting.
Absolutely, it was.
He wifed her up day one, flirted with Sierra, got his toe sucked by a rando, lied about it, tried to cover it, tried to talk shit about Lexi to Sierra. Like, he's a monster.
You're right. I don't know why it took me till today. Yeah.
Well, because now it's just so explicit. Like, he learned nothing from everything he did last year. He learned not a thing, and he's repeating it, and it's louder, and it's so gross.
And it's all with that diabolical, sick, scary movie like villain smile.
Yeah,
it's
because
creepy.
he thinks it's cool. And I had the thought watching this episode, I'm like, I actually legitimately, genuinely worry about Jesse Solomon when he's no longer on reality TV. He's not as compelling as Kyle Cook or West or any of these people. So when Summer House dies, I don't expect we're going to see the Jesse Solomon spinoff series. And I swear to God, I'm worried about what will become of him. When he was talking about jail slop, when West made that breakfast, I was like, I don't know where you're going to end up, dude. Your whole identity is wrapped up in being popular because of Summer House and popular because Sierra likes you. Sierra's about to hate you. West is appropriately turning on you. KJ just read you for filth in the kitchen after they got home from Kyle's DJ gig. Like, you suck. You're burning down every bridge that you built. And I don't know where that lands a kid when this comes to an end.
Yeah, that's a really good
If
good
he's
point.
looking for a good girl, we've all watched you on TV. It's going to be very hard to convince anyone you have that in you. Like, anyways, yeah.
I also think the only reason why Sierra is interacting with him the way she is because she does not take him seriously at all as anything other than a friend. I don't get vibes from her that she's attracted to him.
I don't know. When she rolled into him in bed, I was like, ew.
That was strange. Yes,
I think she does, but I think he could have had a shot, but he ruined it for himself because we saw the previews for next week where she's like, you're going to hide behind a joke. You said you wanted to kiss me, but just as a joke. And that you don't come back from that with someone like Sierra.
No.
And this whole episode, he's back and forth like, West isn't ready for something serious. I am. And Sierra is too. Cut to him talking to Wes saying like, if we did kiss, it'd just be a drunken makeout for fun.
Oh my God.
It's like,
he's
you
such
need
an
to get
idiot.
your fucking story straight, dude.
Yeah.
Your junk is doing all of your thinking for you and you are about to blow up your life because of it. And that clearly is what needs to happen because I don't know. He's such a butthole and he's
He really
manipulative.
is.
Posting
Yeah.
that video of him and Sierra holding hands in the car. It's like, what are you doing? You're a
Kissing her
creep.
hand. Yeah, it was. It was. Okay, well, interesting. Mm-hmm.
I don't like
Lot,
him. I never
lots to talk
have.
about.
Yeah.
Let's go. So we resume again. I think it's a Sunday morning, July 13th, 9:54 a.m. I'm just so fascinated by these timestamps. They're so intentional. The fact that they're not rounding it up to 10 or even 9:55. Just okay. So remember last time we saw Kyle, he was in bed at 5:15, drunk as fuck, telling Amanda, "I don't know how things got so complicated." So by the time everyone's up at 9:54 a.m., he's on like 5 hours of sleep max. I don't even know why I give a shit except for my own wreckage around like always looking at how much I'm going to sleep at night. Like, okay, if it's this time, I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh shit. You know, by the time my alarm goes off, 6 hours, I'm going to be fucked. I was doing the same thing with Kyle that I do for myself.
Well, and it just made me think about how, in 12 Step Rooms, they talk about don't let yourself get too hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. And Kyle is always angry. He just complained the night before about being so alone. He's so lonely. And now he's going to be tired. So the reason they caution you against being those things is because you're susceptible to self-destruction if you're predicated toward addiction or self-destructive behaviors in any way. And here he goes again. Like he just, oh Lord. But he can't prioritize his own self-care. He's a middle-aged man. He needs more than 4 hours and 45 minutes of sleep. And remember, at 5:15 in the morning, he's like, I'm anxious. I can't sleep. So for me, when I have anxiety, I don't fall right to sleep as soon as I say that. I've got 2 more hours of ruminating and being insane. So he's probably on 2 hours of sleep. And that is not a functional existence.
Not even a little bit. So the rest of the cast is waking up. Levi and Bailey are in bed chatting. Levi tells her that she saw Ben on Raya. They didn't match. And Bailey's excited to share that she was able to sit on Ben's lap on the way home from the club the previous night.
I love this Bailey Ben arc through this episode because I so relate to being Bailey of like liking someone too much and knowing that you like them too much. And eventually she gets to the place of like, it's better for him to be with not me because I'm too in. I'm too hardcore in on this. So I got to get away.
I recognized so many of just like I could see her thought patterns because I had similar thought patterns when I was in that headspace when I was much younger. And I had so much compassion. I feel like she really is showing us what's going on with her. And it's so relatable and it's fascinating. I really like the 2 newbies. I really like them a lot. All 3 of them. No, 4, 5. Wait, I like all of them.
Yeah.
Ben, Mia, KJ, Bailey, Levi. Yeah.
They're great. Great casting.
So Mia joins Amanda, Carl, and West in the kitchen. She sees her purse and she gasps. And she remembers, she said, I hope that the blue cheese still isn't in my purse. And so we see that she brought her own blue cheese so that she and her castmates could have their own blue cheese stuffed martinis, olive stuffed martinis at the club the night before. And only wrapping them in saran wrap as opposed to like a baggie with like a real secure
It's
like
such a
seal.
gorgeously drunken decision.
Totally.
I loved it. And when she opened her purse, they slowed the camera down a little bit and you could see a piece of blue cheese shoot out at the clutch. And then she reached in and picked up like a rogue piece of blue cheese. So it did not stay in the saran wrap. And I just loved her level of acceptance of like, oh, yeah, it smells like blue cheese. Like it
so funny.
happened.
Yeah.
And I loved her exit from this because she's like, I'd ask what I could do to help, but I don't mean that. And then she just walked out. I was like, I fucking love this girl. She's so great.
Love her so much. I love her so much. Carl is walking around the kitchen in his underwear, his chonies.
I did not care for this one bit.
I was like, okay, is this some Tommy John Spawn Con going on? Or
Yes,
is it just
I
too
believe it
hot
was.
for PJs, but he wants to be comfy? I don't know. But the trunks they wear typically aren't as bodycon because he was wearing
He was wearing boxer briefs.
Boxer briefs,
It's
and they were fitted.
That's what you wear when you're like with your girlfriend in a place by your it was just a lot to bring to
It's
new
a lot of
young
Carl for the
cast
morning.
Yeah. And I do think it was Tommy John's Bon because Jesus Christ, that waistband was
My
half
God.
of the underpants. And God bless him for really trying. He's like, yeah, I was trying a new look. I'm like, Carl, you are, I don't know what you are, but like you're in panties at breakfast time.
He was. He was fully in panties. Oh my God, you're so
your
right.
junk in some jeans and give it a rest.
So West is prepping a breakfast casserole he's making for the house. And instead of saying, hey, friend, thanks for making breakfast. What can I do to help? Jesse says in his snarky, smarmy voice, so how do we ensure this breakfast is good? And West rightly replies, you don't have to have any. And I'm like,
he stopped
holy
chopping
shit.
the vegetables, West was like clearly fucking annoyed, as I would be too. And West was doing a lovely job with that chop. Those were like finely minced peppers or whatever he was putting in there. And it's just, yeah, Jesse's snark is like not cute. He's not a bedbug. Like his sense of humor, he's so full of shit. Everything he does is a performance and I hate it. And I think West has sniffed it out finally and he hates it. It's just like really unbecoming. And I loved Wes for just shutting it down and being like, don't eat it. I don't care.
Seriously. And I feel like even though the editors don't need to do it for us, in case there are some people that are out there that aren't seeing Jesse in all of his Jessiness, they're like leaving the little breadcrumbs out, like that scene, like, what do we have to do to make sure this is going to be edible? I don't know. It was gnarly.
Well, and then sweet Carl chimes in. He's like, anything I have something to do with will be great, man. You know, in his underwear. I was like, oh my God, this scene. It's crazy. I think it just shows Jesse is already wearing on West. And this does not bode well. This was not the time to bring up, can I stick my tongue down your ex-girlfriend's throat?
And the fact that he can't see it.
He can, and he doesn't care, I think.
Oh, geez, that's terrible.
He's the one who reports to Sierra. West said he would do anything for you. He was so happy that you guys were hanging out. He knows. And now he's just trying to turn it into like, so everything's cool with you guys, right? So we can fuck around now. It's like, oh my God, dude, you don't understand human emotions. You're so horny. It's really getting in the way of your friendships.
It's so terrible. It's so terrible. So everyone's in the kitchen except for KJ, who's still Mimi's. And
he was so cute, like snuggling under his covers.
Oh
Everyone's like, where's KJ? And he's like, like under
so
his
cute.
big comforter.
Jesse whispers to Amanda, hey, can we go to bed? Can we go to the bedroom so that they can go have like bedbug 2.0?
I hate him
I know.
initiating this. I hate him being a part of it.
I know.
And he's just doing it to like get his pelvis closer to Sierra's hips.
Oh, gross. I don't want to hear the word Jesse and pelvis.
I don't want to talk about it like it's anything actually like fun and sexual. He's just a gross pervert.
He's so disgusting. So Sierra, Jesse, and Amanda are in Amanda and Kyle's bed, and Amanda asks them how their night was. Sierra says it was good, and Sierra asks them what they think of Mia. Amanda says that she thinks she's great, and Jesse says, I really love her aura. She gives off a great energy.
Which is, there's nothing authentic behind that at all. He's just saying something to please Sierra and try to make her like him. I didn't feel anything. I don't believe him. Aura? What are you talking about? She gives off a great energy. Like, ugh, God, you're fucking so gross. And then he literally puts his head right on her boobs. As soon as he said the nice thing about her friend, he's like, and I've earned this motorboat.
So back in the other part of the house, Mia's on the couch while Wes is in the kitchen, and she tells him, it smells really good, Wes. It's just taking way too long, but it smells really good. And Josh looked at me and said, that sounds like you. And I was like, what the? Well, what's the problem? Because I thought what I find endearing about Mia is that she's honest, but I didn't think that was rude. I thought it was fucking hilarious that she said that. It smells good. It's taking too long. Like, this smells so good, I want to eat it, and I'm hungry, and it's taken a long time. And I think I think that if I did say that to my friend, I can see why they would think that I was being kind of a jerk, but I would hope that they would know that I had the best intention saying it.
It's one of those where I'm like, it's not that deep. And also, if I was the one making breakfast for everyone, chopping all this shit up after sleeping for 5 minutes, I would be like, You can wait or you can
Yeah,
fuck off and
exactly.
go order something. I don't need your
Very fair.
commentary from the couch. Thanks.
Absolutely,
Like,
110%
everybody has
fair.
a point. But I don't think she meant any harm by it. She
Not
wasn't
at
being a
all.
dick. I think she was
No.
just hungry and ready to
Mhm.
eat. And she's like, when is it going to be done?
Yeah.
But he made a full like souffle. So
Oh my
it takes a minute
God.
for the eggs to cook.
I want the recipe. So back in the bed with the bed bugs, Jesse says in regards to Mia, this pissed me the fuck off. This pissed me the fuck off. She's just really nice. Sometimes girls are so mean to try to be flirty and fun. And I'm like, how about try being nice? I give lots of compliments. Where do I start? A, compliments are not transactional, motherfucker. And if you're giving them to be transactional, that's fucking gross. Get help. B, like it's giving you should smile more. And maybe the girls that you're out there that are mean when you're trying to be quote unquote flirty and fun are trying to like communicate with you. Get the fuck away from me, dude.
Yeah, that was my first thought is like, they're not so mean. They're just rejecting you because they don't like you. You can have your feelings hurt, but it doesn't mean that they're mean. And also there is that population of people, and I'm sure I did it at some point in my life where like, and this girl, Dara or whoever does it, you know, when she's introduced to Ben at the party, West is like, this is Ben, he's Australian. And she's like, the accent kind of gave it away, but thanks for letting me know. And it's like, okay. So I get it. Like the shitty tone exists, but like, you're not special, Jesse. People aren't saving their shitty flirtations. Just like, I don't know. He just
That's
takes
right.
everything so, poor me. I'm so special. And I should be the exception to all the rules. And as you know, I have a real problem with people who take it upon themselves to consider themselves exceptions to the rules. But they expect the rest of us to abide by all the rules to make their lives really easy. But then they get to break them because like, I'm late. I do get to blow a stop sign and like, you know.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. Oh, don't even get me
And
started.
Jesse was just a dick to West as he's cooking breakfast. Like,
yeah.
You're not nice.
No.
I hate you.
So you're so cute. So KJ joins the rest of the cast and he says he feels rested for once. And I was like, oh, honey, I get it. I get it. I get it. And in regards to West's casserole, the Midwest in him sees the Midwest in West and says, this is the most Midwest shit ever. And I thought that was adorable and hilarious.
And that's the difference between him and Jesse is like KJ was just like reflecting like a truth that he has experienced. And Jesse was just being a dick for the sake of being a dick.
Yeah.
And I think West really put his back into that breakfast. Like he really did a nice job. And I think it's just, my heart is with West in this episode.
Same. My heart is with West to the point where I'm like, Ramona, I know a year ago and a year before that, you were really mad and disappointed at this man. So I don't want you to rewrite history. Again, it's not that deep, but like.
But it's also like, it's Paige. I don't hate you, but I see you.
Yes.
And I still see you and now I like you.
Yeah.
Like he's shown a shit ton of growth.
It seems like it, right?
Significance. Yeah. And I think that's why I like Summer House is that a lot of these characters really do. Like Carl is transformed entirely.
Big time.
West it's slow, but he's making big strides and still fucking up along the way. And that's life. And I appreciate seeing that. And I need to get out of judgment of my own self for not perfectly changing once I know the right thing to do. So I'm so glad. I don't know.
Me too. Because I did question myself. I don't know where in my notes I did, but I did at some point write, am I this impressed with West because the bar for men with his kind of privilege is subterranean? Or is it really that I can see from what we're seeing that he's grown? Both could be true.
I think West appears to be a good person overall. Like, I don't know. I occasionally see him come up on my social media and he's always telling people on the wrong side of history to fuck off, but he does it by dancing in his kitchen with their comment over his head. You know, like he's not aggressive, but like he uses his platform for good. So I don't know.
So back with the fucking Temu bedbugs because of Jesse, Amanda asks the both of them when they got home, and Sierra says around 3, and she promptly gave orders to Ben and Wes to go to their rooms. And Jesse says, Wes would do whatever you said last night. Wes was really pumped up about you guys being a little friendly last night. And then he lays his heads on her boob. So,
Yeah.
and then he gives an unhinged confessional. Jesse says, if West was ready to settle down, Sierra would be a great match. He's just not ready. Projecting. We differ in that sense. Like, I'm very clear that I want to find someone that I can spend the rest of my life with. But West is like chillin', and that is not what Sierra is looking for. And he's saying this like the whole time with this smirky, smug look on his face. And I'm like, dude, you're the one that's not ready. You love the idea of a relationship, but you aren't ready for a relationship. I feel like, yes, West is probably enjoying himself and has been enjoying himself immensely while being single and being a Bravo Leb. But he gives way more ready for a relationship vibes than Jesse, despite the words coming out of Jesse's massive teeth that look like a hockey puck mouth. You know?
Yeah, I just think West is honest. He loved and loves Sierra and is nowhere near being ready for a committed relationship. And Jesse is dishonest. He is horny for Sierra and is trying to convince himself and everyone around him that this is it. She's the one.
Yeah.
But his head will turn in a heartbeat. Yeah, and West later says it in the episode, she'll eat him alive. And he also that's not what he wants. If he was
not even
so
a little
clear that he's looking for the someone he can spend the rest of his life with, he wouldn't have mixed messages. He wouldn't deliver this information so differently to West and the boys and Sierra, quite frankly, than he does in this confessional where he's like, I'm just a good boy. And it's like, you're absolutely not. You're a user as much as West was years ago. And as much as you were last year. You've always had your eye on Sierra and you've used everyone around to entertain yourself in the interim. And it's been really gross to watch and called it love. And like, you don't know anything.
He doesn't know anything.
And you don't have any humility about that. I don't know anything, but at least I know I don't know anything.
Yeah.
So I go to therapy to get help.
Dude. So everyone in the cast gathers for breakfast. They are having, I don't remember who calls it redneck quiche, but I thought that was hilarious.
It was Bailey.
Was it Bailey?
Mm-hmm. And West really took kindly to that. He was like, yeah, that works.
It made me want to go out and get the recipes for or get the ingredients for this. I'm like, okay, it's probably like Denver omelet, but you bake it, add the hash browns in it. Like, that's fucking genius. I can absolutely see my 10-year-old eating the shit out of that. Who am I kidding? I would too. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So over breakfast, West says that in the city that week, he is going to host an Australian-themed, singles bash in honor of Ben. And we see a flashback of Ben saying to the group that he's ready for a long-term relationship. And Bailey is like stunned. She's asks if he's struggling with meeting people. She's shocked. Like, you struggle meeting people? I find that hard to believe.
He did say in that flashback that he feels ready for a commitment and that if he meets someone and that kind of connection is there, he's going to really put his back into pursuing it. Whereas probably a handsome guy like that who was probably just cruising, you know, and
Totally.
relationships take work even if you're hot. So it sounds like he's ready to like really dig in, which is nice.
So West explains that what you're going to do if you come is you're going to bring someone for other people to meet, not someone that you yourself want to bang. It's someone for your friends to bang.
Isn't that every party? I mean, I was like, Wes, you don't need to put the cherry on this. Like, we get it.
Oy.
And then we're with Amanda and Kyle as they're in their room packing to leave. And they have some small talk about hangers. And then Kyle pauses and puts his hand on his chest and says, sorry about yesterday. I don't think I'm good. And Amanda already is like, what's this? And then in the most for the cameras like moment I've seen on this show yet, he says, that's the drunkest I've been yesterday and the day before. That's the drunkest I've been in a year. And I was like, oh, well, that was for your investors, for your Loverboy investors, to assure them that you're not a disgusting, nightmarish asshole. And Amanda like slow blinks and is like, well, that's not true. But I love her for saying I'm not focusing on the drinking of it all. It just seems that you blame me for everything that is going wrong in your life and for all of your upset feelings. And there's so much other stuff going on. And God bless the editors. I don't know if you noticed, but they turned down Kyle's mic so we could hear Amanda because she's like, you know, we're partners. And he's like, doesn't feel like it. And she's like, when I tell people you're my best friend, he's like, I don't feel like I'm your best friend. Amanda was so clear, and she's really doing a lovely job of expressing what's going on. And I think it's coming from that place of like, she's done fighting for this or against it or about it. She's just like, here's what's true, you know. And she says, we're partners, and I guess I view that differently. And she says, when I talk about you, I say you're my best friend. When something exciting happens in my life and when something sad happens and I'm frustrated, I tell you. I don't wait for you to ask me about it. If something interesting happens or something difficult is going on, tell me about it. And I can tell when you're stressed, and I do ask if you're okay, and I do ask what's going on. And then she does her defense for the cameras. You make me sound like I'm this terrible person. Kyle's like, I'm not just making stuff up here. And she just flat out says, you are. And if you're that miserable then, and this end of the sentence is that nobody's ready to say until they're actually ready for the relationship to be over, the end of that sentence is, then why are you in this? Then this should be over. And they are almost there.
And then he says, well, that wasn't my intention. I think I'm a little bit lost. I'm not in a great place. So I'm sorry. I just hope we can turn a corner. This man makes me so fucking angry. Dude, you are the one whose foot is on the floor that turns the corner. It's not we hope. It is going to take actual action to turn the corner. You can't just hope you turn it. B, you have to use your words. I asked Josh, I don't even know if I had to ask him actually thinking about this, like to double check that I wasn't just hating on Kyle. I was like, wait, so it's not okay for him to just wait for Amanda to ask what's going on. He has to tell her. He's like, yeah, he has to tell her. This man talks about, where's your motivation, Amanda? Where's your intentionality? Motherfucker, where's your motivation? Where's your intentionality? I don't think he wants to be in this marriage either.
He doesn't, but he doesn't want it to end. And like, that's a very relatable feeling, at least for me, when a relationship is coming to a close. And Amanda said it. It's not that one is bad or one is right or one is wrong. It's like, she just says, I do things differently. In a partnership, I don't start every conversation with like, what frustrated you today? Did anything go right today? Did anything go wrong today? Like, you expect a conversation to open up naturally.
Right?
And Kyle, I feel for him. I do think he is lost, and I do think he is not in a great place. But that's not Amanda's problem to solve. And when he says, I hope we can just turn a corner, I'm with you. I was like, what are you going to do?
Right.
Like, you just said you're lost and you're not in a great place. So what are you going to do to like make some adjustments there? And there's nothing. He's going to keep doing more of the same and being frustrated and pissed off when she doesn't like him. It just seems, but whatever, he can't see it.
I just don't even know what it's like, especially in a close partnership like a marriage. Oh my God. 99.9% of the time, Josh knows where I stand all the fucking time. Like, what's going on with me? Like, I don't even know if you want to call it a squeaky wheel. Yes, I have squeaky wheel moments, but I'm a verbal processor. It's just in me. Like, I always talk about how I'm feeling. Not always, but you know what I'm saying. If something is weighing heavy on me, or if I'm excited about something, you're going to know. I'm going to say it. And I'm not saying that everyone has to be like me. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm sure part of that is just in my inherent nature. But we also know that Kyle's a real gregarious motherfucker, you know? And he's also like, he's such a fucking arrogant, smug bootstrapper. That whole bullshit he gave her in the dunes the previous weekend about, you know, do. So do something. I didn't want to go to therapy twice last week, but I was fucking miserable. And I had the opportunity to do it, and I did it. I had it on Friday, and then I had it again on Tuesday. That's not a lot of days in between. But guess what? Today, Wednesday, even yesterday, Tuesday, after my appointments, I feel a million times better. Like, I can tell. But I had to do it. I wasn't just hoping I was going to turn a fucking corner. Hope doesn't do shit. It does do a lot of shit. It does so much shit. I love hope. We talk about hope a lot, but
he's not well. He's sick.
He's not well.
And it's destroying his relationship, and he has lost it now. He got the outcome that you get when you have no curiosity about what's going on with you and you're not ready to change anything. He is not ready to change anything.
You're right.
It is still working for him, and that's okay. there are people in his life that will love him through that. And Amanda is just not that girl. She's too healed. She spent the last 5 years being told she's so difficult. And so she went and did get a bunch of help. And now she's too healthy to stay with someone who's this self-destructive. I don't think it's like cool comeuppance for Kyle. I think it's fucking tragic. It's
It is.
awful for everyone. And it's not cool. As someone who's like, you know, I went through like a broken engagement and like everyone hated him and fuck that guy. Sure. But I loved him. So like it's not better for Amanda to like get this fucking guy out of here. Good riddance. Sure, fine. Sierra can find her another husband in a year. But that's not the point. She fell in love with someone who he is self-destructing, and there's no guarantee that he'll pull out of this tailspin, and that's scary and it's sad and it's like a desperate, dark feeling. I'm projecting entirely, but like I don't know. It's nothing to like root for or feel
No, it's absolutely not.
vindicated by. It's fucking dark.
It
And
is.
he's trying to tell her that, but she's already told him, you need to stop the thing that is putting this relationship down the toilet. But he continues to prioritize that thing. And that's that. That's just where they're at. And that is not a marriage anymore.
Oh my God. It's, you know, when you said the part about the investors, he made the comment for the investors. Leaving his marriage isn't going to crush him. Losing the investors is going to crush him when
I
he
don't
has
know
to
if
close
it will.
Loverboy. Yeah, you're right. Maybe it won't. But I'm just saying, like, that's how sad it is that, like, that
Yeah.
it might not be until it hits Loverboy that he takes it seriously. I don't know.
Yeah.
So the cast returns to the city.
Okay, obviously I have to talk about Mia's dog Winston, who's in a full sploot on a New York City sidewalk with his little legs like out behind him as he's resting on some shady curb to like, you know, cool down his belly. It was so cute.
So
and
cute.
she was not going to rush him. Sierra's like, we've been waiting for 15 minutes. And she's like, he needs more time. He's not done. And we will
love
wait.
Mia.
And I was like, you're the best.
It's adorable.
And that dog was so cute. I could
So
barely
cute.
stand it. I wanted to
So
reach to
cute.
the screen and give him scritches. He was adorable.
We did see a scene, 60 seconds of Ben doing yoga and sit-ups and other various workouts without his shirt on in preparation for Thursday, which is Ben's Australian singles bash.
Which had no whiff of Australia to it whatsoever. It's like, we're at a rooftop bar. Enjoy.
What's happening? Why is this Australian? Because there's an
it.
Australian there, I guess.
Yep.
So the cast and their various single friends have arrived at a rooftop bar. There's lots of new faces. Lindsay arrives and West introduces her to Ben. And West tells her Ben's single and looking for love. And Lindsay, I have to say, I am so enjoying Lindsay Hubbard this season. And when she said this in her confessional, I was like, oh, duh, of course. So Lindsay in her confessional says, having a family, having a baby has always been my ultimate goal. I have that now. The pressure is off. I'm no longer looking for the one. I'm not choosing the wrong guy because I'm up against the biological clock. I get to fuck around and find out, with a condom, of course. So if a guy with blonde hair and blue eyes from Australia falls in my lap, great. And I'm like, oh my God, I have never, in the 9 seasons of Summer House that I've watched, whether she was in a relationship or not, seen a chill or relaxed Lindsay fucking Hubbard. Never, ever, 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 ever. I love seeing Lindsay like this. She's so entertaining. And I want more. She compels me. She doesn't give no fucks. I do think she is a little, we'll get there, but in regards to Carl.
Oh, yeah. She's still Lindsay.
She's not indifferent. She's not indifferent yet.
No, she has
Yeah.
lots of digs to make. But again, I also think that's for the camera to remind the audience, like, I was the victim. I didn't do anything wrong. So let's just, let's get that on record. And I disagree with her. And it doesn't matter because they, again, are another example of these people were not a match. And like,
Yeah,
life
for
is better
sure.
for both of them without being, you know, in a marriage that was never going to go the distance because they wanted to destroy each other by the end. And I will say that like Ben seemed to have some legitimate chemistry with Lindsay and to the point where he got like nervous and weird. And in this episode, he really just becomes like, he just sort of drifted into like hot guy category. Like we lost personality. There was like one moment where he said something where it felt like he had personality, but it really does feel like he's He's abs and eyes, and I don't know what else is going on with Ben. Just in this episode.
Yeah, I still can't get a read on this dude. I
And
think
Lindsay
I think
says it
he's deep,
later. She's
and
like,
then and then I'm like, oh wait, no, yeah, exactly. Sierra shows up, and she looks so stunning. It's just insane. It's insane how
she's
stunning
got
she
like
is.
effortless style.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like Sex in the City or more and Just Like That, where like they were like dressed in outfits that are cool for New Yorkers. Sierra's just like, I don't know where she got that. It's not Free People. It's not Barney's. It came from somewhere that is like so true to Sierra's style, and it like only makes sense on her, and I loved it.
She looked amazing.
Gorgeous.
And Jesse tells her as such. He says that she looks great and that he's trying and he's going to try now. And I'm assuming he means to actively pursue her. I don't know what he meant, but
as always, it comes off as a joke.
yeah, exactly.
So he never has to take responsibility for feelings or anyone else's feelings or
he's
impacting
so
anyone.
dangerous.
He's just
He is
a jerk.
so dangerous. He's so dangerous.
He's a coward, honestly.
Yeah, you're
If
right.
he had any like balls, he would just tell the truth and do what Carl did last year. Sit Sierra down and say, like, I'm attracted to you. Do you think this could ever be anything? And she said no. And he was like, damn, okay. And then they moved it the fuck along.
Totally.
But Jesse's just going to do this. Ugh, God, he's so gross. And was he wearing his tight shirt? And like,
So
I
gross.
can't with him.
He's so gross. Oh, God bless Bailey. I love Bailey so much. We're just watching it all. We're watching her in her stuff as she's figuring it out. And it is uncomfortable. And I'm also so appreciative of it and so supportive of her. So Bailey's chatting with a very young looking man who has a mustache. And I can't get over the fact that he looks like a young looking person, like a really young person with a mustache. So like he's playing dress up. And she's telling him that she's been single for 2 years and she thought that a new relationship would fall in her lap. And that she's always had a boyfriend, but she's 2 years deep and no boyfriend. And in her confessional, it cracked me up. She's like, I've matched with multiple men on Hinge or on Bumble before. That's how small the New York dating scene is. But I'm hopeful I'll make a connection with someone. And at the very least, I'm open to it, which is very big for me. You just don't know. You don't know. Your soulmate could just be walking by, maybe a Calvin Klein model with an Australian accent. I don't see that in the future for her. And quite frankly, I don't think he's dynamic enough for her or exciting enough for her yet, from what I know of him.
No, and she doesn't even really want him. That's why I love her later in this scene where she's just like, no, not for me. I'm too excited about this. It can't be real.
I mean, we just got so much information from this scene alone about Bailey. We'll get there. So Amanda introduces Lindsay to the new castmates, Bailey, Levi, and Mia, and tells her that everyone is single except for her and Kyle and Mia. And Lindsay says, well, I'm sure Scott is better than my last fiance. That was low and dumb. Lindsay, I mean, I don't expect people to be perfect, but like.
But that is like expected from her. It's just like, oh, you have to take a shitty, cheap shot. And like, to what
very on
end?
brand.
Like, and we get some Shrek shoe comments later, and it's like, just leave it alone, dude. Like, if you really don't care, then don't care. Be grateful you're not with the shitty ex-fiance who wears dorky shoes.
Yeah.
Just shut up about it.
In his confessional, Carl says, I saw Lindsay at the reunion, and we see the flashback to Andy asking Carl if he misses the friendship with Lindsay. And he says yes, and Andy asks the same of Lindsay, and she says she's not there yet. And I still think that was her trying to, like, she was going to have one up. Like, Carl was going to be vulnerable and admit something.
And cry.
And
he
cry.
got emotional. And it was honest.
She wasn't going to do it. And I still feel like this is her not doing it by making that comment about, like, how random. You're just meeting Mia for the first time. You don't know anything about Scott. Carl, all he did was say, we're not right together. That's it. That's it. Really? Or am I forgetting something that he did?
No, he did. I think he did everything right and clearly did them both a favor. But she found that humiliating. And she will never, because she's not working on herself on that front, she's not over it. She feels humiliated. And it's that whole resentment, you know, she won't let go of that resentment. And so if the cameras are on her and she has an opportunity to say something shitty about Carl, she's going to take that opportunity to say some sideways, stupid, like not effective
It's not.
burn of Carl.
It just doesn't do anything but make her look bad.
Totally.
and make Carl look even better because his ego is so out of it. His
And
ego
that's
is
so
so out of it,
yeah.
which is just indicative of his emotional sobriety, you know?
It's such a good lesson for me to see, like, if I resent someone, if their ego's out of it or not, it just makes me look like a jackass. Because if the person is behaving like an idiot, everyone else can see it. So I don't need to speak up about it. And if the person is a good person and I talk shit about them, then I look like an asshole. Like, so
Totally.
either way, I look like an asshole. So
Totally.
that was good for me to see, to be reminded of like, just hold your tongue, hold your tongue.
He says, I don't know. It's always going to be a little uncomfortable in certain settings because while I know being friendly and cordial is the best course of action, I'm not sure. Do I go up and say something or do I just let it happen organically? I know she's not interested in any hugging or anything like that, which is fine. There isn't a lot I need to say, so I'm just kind of going with the flow. I'm so happy for Carl. He's at peace, dude. He's got fucking peace.
Legitimately at peace.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Lindsay, I feel like her peace is dependent on her having received these cash and prizes. Because she's like, now that I have the baby and I have a family, now I'm
Interesting.
fine. And it's like, I don't know if you are or you're not. Because who are you? What if you didn't have all those things? What would you be then? Like, I don't know. I don't trust her. She, to me, feels like a little too slick, She looks great. She says a lot of cool shit. She does have a baby. She loves being a mom. So nothing's the matter. It all worked out perfect for Lindsay. And it's like, that's weird because I'm not sure that's how life actually goes. So I don't know. It didn't bother her at all that it didn't work out with Tucker and co-parenting is her vision. This is going great. No problems. Everything's wonderful. Not that everything has to be bad, but I don't like being sold.
I bought it.
Well, this is why she's great at her job. She
I
was
bought
in
it.
PR forever.
I feel dumb that I bought it.
Don't feel dumb. She can market the shit out of anything. And it is great. I am so happy for her that she got all those things, but I don't know if that makes you whole. I just don't know.
You're absolutely right. It doesn't. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't. Oh, God. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. I love your fucking perspectives. I swear to fucking God. I swear. So a woman with a blue dress walks in and hugs West. Her name is Dara.
And no bra. Oh my God, those boobies. I was like, oh, New York City. New York City for me was just like an experience of like watching confident braless women. I never went anywhere without a bra or a leotard or like something. And I was awed by those women who wore like tank tops with just breasts akimbo. God bless. She's gorgeous.
When I was younger, I had some tops where I was like, I think about it
Everyone
now. I'm like,
should.
oh my God, I did? I can't believe
Everyone should, especially in summer in New York City. It's disgusting. The less layers you can have on your body, that's the only way to function. Just brought me back to those summers in New York City where I was like, I wish I could be one of those girls who doesn't feel like she has to wear a bra. But I was never one of those girls. So get it, Dara.
So West introduces her to Ben. And in his confessional, he says that they used to see each other. He said that it fizzled out like the rest of them. And I was like, okay, West, there's fizzling out. And then there's also like, did you do something that was like, okay, you're lame. I got to go. I don't want this. I don't know. Whatever.
I think he's
Or
like
both.
king of situationships. I don't
Totally.
get the sense from West. I think Sierra was new for him because he made promises to her and he'd hoped he could mean them. But I don't think with any of these other women, because the picture they showed of him and Dara when they were dating, they're like playing pool.
I can see
You know
that.
what I mean? They're
Yeah.
not like on a couple's trip, kissing at a sunset. It's just like, this is my buddy and we fuck sometimes. He's that guy.
So she's very supportive and got to be friends again after some time after they fizzled out. She's dope, he says. Honestly, I think it's weird if people want to hate all their exes. All my exes are cool and hot and super fun, so I don't hate any of them. And I thought that was, that was pretty healthy. And I appreciated that perspective.
I also don't think he's been in love yet.
Oh.
Not that you have to hate. I don't hate any of my exes. I'm grateful for every single one of them. But there is something different that happened when my first love relationship broke up that was different from all of the people I had dated before. That was like, oh, this stings like extra bad. And I find myself like either wanting them to get back together with me or wishing harm upon them. Like there is a new level of emotional like angles that I hadn't experienced before. Yeah, I wonder what'll happen. if West will be like what's her face from 16 Candles when her dad goes, when it happens to you, it'll be forever. So maybe he'll
Yeah.
just fall in love once when he's like 55.
Oh my God.
I don't
Oh my
know.
God. So Mia has had it. She stands up and clinks her glass with a spoon. And she's like, you guys need to mingle. Stop sitting next to people you know. Act like you want to get laid tonight.
I
And
love her.
I
She
do
seems like
too.
such a good time.
So Ben and Lindsay are chatting. And off to the side, Amanda is watching them. And she comments that Lindsay has no idea what Ben's saying because of his accent. And we kind of see Lindsay like looking at him and nodding and like, okay, trying to figure it out.
And we cut to that great moment where he's like, I've heard a lot about you from Carl. And she's like, from who? And he's like, from Carl. And she's like, Carl or Kyle? And he's like, Carl. Like he still can't say it. And it was amazing.
Bailey comments, poor thing, she's coping. She's coping. She is probably having such a hard time watching the guy she has a crush on talking to Lindsay. But instead of saying that, she's going to hype up Lindsay and say that they would make beautiful babies. So Lindsay tells Ben that she was a publicist full-time for the majority of her life. She says, I was a former publicist, current MILF. Oh, God.
Gross.
How long
Okay.
has she been workshopping that? That is so stupid. Margie.
I bet it's like on her like LinkedIn profile. Like I'm sure she thinks that's like hilarious.
She thinks it's hilarious, doesn't she?
Sure.
She thinks she's the alpha and omega of MILF. So poor Bailey tells Amanda that if Ben touched her, she wouldn't know what to do. He's the most beautiful man she's ever seen. He's like Thor. And she says no one else notices that he goes in the pool every morning, comes back with a towel wrapped around his abs. So does Wes, but it doesn't hit the same. Fucking editors then show us a side-by-side of the both of them getting out of pools. And I just want to say they're both attractive men, okay?
They are both attractive men. And quite honestly, I think it'd be so much more fun to get in the sack with Wes than it would with Ben. So it doesn't matter, I guess, is my point. Is like the abs are not the avenue to get the girl or not get her or whatever. But I also loved her for saying he wraps his towel around his abs. Like, I've never heard that. I've heard waist, I've heard whatever, but like I've never heard wrapped his towel. But he does. He is all abs. And so that is what the towel wraps around.
Oh, God. So Amanda and Mia are coaching Bailey on how to approach getting to know him, build a friendship, have a banter, learn little things to let him know that she's interested. And Bailey says, but he's better suited for someone else. He's too good. Also, I don't hate him and Lindsay together. And then Mia, MV fucking peas, and she comes in and she's like, we're not talking about Lindsay right now. We are talking about you. I love that Mia can tell that Bailey is protecting herself by deflecting. And she really shut up and paid attention when Mia said that. And Mia said it kindly, I want to note. Basically, Bailey was like, okay, we're not going to run from this. And Bailey knows her insecurity needs to be dealt with.
I just want to say, I feel I had a slightly different perspective on that.
Oh, interesting.
because
Okay.
I think they're coming down hard on this young girl. Like, I think she senses that she doesn't feel like a comfortable version of herself around him.
Yeah.
So all of this, like, just start some banter and blah, blah, blah. It's like, if that doesn't exist, it's not that he's too good. Like, that language was probably wrong, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know if that's the right place for her to put her energy. And clearly, as we see later, she makes an attempt and it's met with kind of some ice. It was uncomfortable. Not that that's not part of the journey when you're going through all that stuff. But I don't know. I thought Bailey had a sense of like, this isn't someone who I'm going to ever like feel comfortable around. It's just not that. So I think it's important that Mia put the focus back on her. But I also wish they'd listened to her a little bit more to see what might have been like. You don't have to force her to go for it, you know? If it's not a match, it's like he's fun to look at and talk to if they cross paths, but like, I don't know.
I want better for Bailey from what I know of Ben so far. She's so outgoing and so honest and so vulnerable. Like, I don't even think she's trying. She's just seems really unfiltered and really unjaded. Scared? Absolutely. Jaded? No. From what I'm seeing, she strikes me as just 110% what you see is what you get. That's endearing to me.
I feel like she and KJ are in a really similar spot. If they're just like not rushing growing up. They're like, yeah, I'm kind of a mess right now. And that's what's up.
Yeah.
Now what? You know,
Yeah.
it's just like, what's next? What are we doing now? I'm not going to like resolve this in this confessional. So
So Bailey tells Amanda and Mia, that she might seem outgoing, but she gets really nervous. And she tells them, I was in a relationship for so long where somebody was constantly telling me that everybody hated me, nobody likes me, I'm ugly, I'm fat, and no one's going to want to be my friend, and I'm unlikable. And Mia and Amanda are devastated to hear this, as am I. And she says, and I can totally see myself saying this too, I'm not saying this for sympathy. In this situation, being in the house and like going into a new group of friends, I had to remind myself, you're being paranoid. People don't hate you. Ah, Jesus. My heart just like broke for her. How awful for her to go through that.
It's so much better than, what was her name from last year that Jesse dated?
Lexi.
It's so much better than Lexi, because if you recall, Lexi, rather than giving voice to this, Lexi sat with it and started to believe everything that Jesse told her and that she thought she was
Poor baby.
observing. So, but I think this is the better version of that.
Of course.
Like, I think everybody feels, maybe I'm overgeneralizing, but I have never not felt insecure entering a space that other people are comfortable in and I'm brand new to. And I think her way in is just to be like, here's who I am. Here's the truth about me. And part of that truth is that I'm paranoid about you, but I know that's crazy, but I just want you to know that's part of how I think. And I think most people can relate to that, and that makes her likable and
Yeah.
relatable and sympathetic.
It's pretty fucking awful being with someone that puts you down and tells you that you're not going to be XYZ and you're too XYZ. And,
Yeah.
you know, when we were talking earlier about not hating any of your exes, when you said earlier, I don't hate any of my exes, but there is one. I don't respect this person or care about his well-being enough to like have hate. But it's not indifference. Like, I don't wish bad things on him, but he is also, I can say, look you in the fucking eyes and say he is a piece of fucking shit. And he's the closest thing to the person that Bailey is describing. So I don't hate him. How do I say it? I think if I ever saw him in real life, I wouldn't give him a piece of my mind and make a scene, but I wouldn't mind sharing what I now know, you know?
Yeah.
I don't
It
know.
just feels like with people like that, is
Yeah,
it
you're
worth
right.
your energy?
You're right.
'Cause
Is it worth it? Yeah.
That's not, it's like, again, it's like Amanda talking to Kyle again about being more sensitive to
Yeah.
prioritizing their marriage. It's like, you can say it, but to me, I always wind up more broken after trying to communicate stuff to someone who just
Ugh.
is not.
I
Yeah.
just feel bad that I accepted that. I feel bad.
But I'm sure, I mean, for me, I did as well, but that's what I brought to therapy and learned that I was repeating patterns that were unresolved. And I
Yeah.
didn't even know were patterns. And I didn't know there was anything wrong with how I had been told relationships go and how they were modeled for me. So
Yeah.
I just had to unlearn that. For me, it takes it takes pain of a particular intensity to get my attention.
Yeah.
So I had to be with, someone who, it had to be like, it starts insidiously, of course, but by the end it's like, oh, this is truly aggressively awful. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way I can justify any of this. And
Yeah.
so I have to deal with what in me was attracted to this
Ugh,
and try to
God.
keep myself from walking down that road again.
So in her confessional, Bailey says, after my breakup, I feel extremely afraid of men. I can see the pain they're going to cause me a month from now, 2 years from now. I'm going to end up crying over you. So before they even talk to me, and she makes this X sign in front of her body, like to block somebody. I'm like, save it, cancel it, whatever. I'm well aware that I'm fully fucked up. I have a million issues and I'm working on them. Just give me some time. Like, you
I
got
love
it, girl.
that.
You got it. Yes,
That
absolutely.
needs to go on merch everywhere.
So then Wes checks on Amanda as a non-single, and she jokes like, oh, he asks how she's doing. She's like, oh, I'm doing great. My relationship's perfect. I have no issues. And they both kind of awkwardly laugh.
But there is some sweetness in that moment that, again, is different. It's pure, as opposed to Jesse and Sierra when he puts his head on her boobs. It's different than when Amanda put her head on Wes' shoulder. There wasn't anything, there was no ulterior motive there. That was just true closeness between friends. it just read real different than literally everything Jesse does related to or around Sierra. He's gross.
You're so right. You saw the friendship between them. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
there's comfort and physicality to it, but it is not there. No one's creeping.
And so she asks Wes, are you having fun? And asks who Blue Dress Girl is. And he tells her about Dara, right?
I don't know
Dara?
yet.
Sorry to that Dara. He tells her that they flinged, hooked up years ago before he met the Summer House crew. And she confirms, she asks him, so did you bring her for Ben?
You brought someone you slept with for Ben to sleep with? She was like, this feels loaded,
And
but
he's
okay.
like, I think. He's like, I clearly didn't bring her here to bang her in front of you guys. So, and then in his confessional, he says, the progress with Sierra and I this summer compared to last summer is clearly there. We're kind of flirty and fun and friends and everything's cool. And I would never fuck with that. I believe him for sure. Despite how messy this relationship has been, there are still boundaries that we are both trying to hold to respect each other. And it's super important in keeping our little family together. And this is where I wrote, is this awareness and growth, or am I giving props to a man doing the absolute bare minimum because I find him charming?
I don't think he's doing the bare minimum. Like, I actually think he's being really thoughtful and he's not going to get it right 100% of the time. And I believe him as opposed to Kyle. West is prioritizing his summer house family. Jesse is not. Kyle is not. West said after he had the summer where he was fucking around with other girls, he did not do that again. He really has made changes. And I think those, deserve recognition. Like, it's hard to do things differently, especially because you don't get rewarded for it if you were an asshole before, because everyone is just looking for you to be an asshole again, So he's on a long road here, and I think he's doing a nice job.
This is the shit that I miss the week that we didn't record together. I see the parts of me that are still very defended in my reactions to these complete fucking strangers I watch on TV once a week and talk with you about once a week.
I mean, I just over-personalize everything. And I'm like, what if that was my nephew who's in his 20s and making some weird choices that aren't who he is, but he's driven by different shit at that age. You don't know who you are. You don't know what you want. And you have to try stuff and hurt people to learn. And I would be devastated. Or if someone wrote me off for some of the choices I made in my 20s and 30s. Are you kidding? I wrote a whole show about it where I expose, I basically committed felony behavior in the throes of a breakup. Like, if that was on TV and what people, but I don't deserve a pass for that. If I was this ex's family, I would be like, she's psycho. And you could absolutely categorize me like that and leave it there if you want. I'd prefer you stick around to see how I've grown and changed and what's different since then. But I don't know. Anyway, so I always come at it from that angle. Like, what if it was someone I love or me or someone's son or daughter? I don't know.
I'll try that. That's good.
But with someone like Jesse and even Kyle, I'm just like, yeah, you guys are just, you have to hit rock bottom. And I got nothing great to say while you embody your own demise. You're just being gross. That there's no goodwill behind your choices. It's just gross.
Oh, no, it does not feel like there is any goodwill behind their choices. And that's why I really struggle with everybody's doing their best.
They're doing the best they can with what they've got.
Okay.
And Kyle has alcoholism, in my opinion, and Jesse has some sort of arrested development that's like a real sickness, he can't think outside of the moment. The shit he says to his friend who stood by him through a lot of shit last year.
Holy
it's
crap.
Just wild to me, this kid.
It is wild. So he does tell Amanda, listen, if I was actively trying to be with Dara again, I would not have brought her here. So, okay, West, growth. I love that. Who knows if anyone hooked up that night, because we leave and we go back to the Hamptons for Friday, July 18th. Oh, God bless. Kyle's the first to arrive. He came straight from his family reunion. He did a DJ gig on the beach, and his whole family came to see him at a sold-out show for 800 people. And in his confessional, he says there was a little frustration on his part that Amanda wasn't coming, but doesn't feel like either one of them want to have another weekend like the one they had last weekend. So he's coming into this weekend with a clean slate.
Clean slate and nothing different. So great. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The rest of the cast arrives, including Lindsay, who's coming for the weekend. And we don't see the conversation happen, but we hear Carl greet Lindsay so graciously, so openly, ask her how she is. How's Gemma? She says perfect. I don't recall if Lindsay asked Carl how he was doing.
She did not.
Oh,
Decidedly
shit.
did not.
And I heard Carl's voice, and he sounded genuinely interested in the answers too, and not just asking her just to like get over being awkward.
Yeah, it was like really welcoming.
Mm-hmm.
And he did all the work to break that ice. She did nothing and she walked out. But that's fine. Also, they don't need
Totally.
to like
Nope.
dwell in what comes after the questions of how are you? How's your daughter? But yeah, no, Lindsay didn't ask anything. And that's whatever. It's okay. It's the first, again, everyone's first encounters after a breakup are always, at least for me, they were always weird. And I never got it right. But you just got to get it over with.
Totally.
And keep it moving.
This is where I wrote the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. So she says in her confessional, and she's got this look on her face. She's very, she's smug. Carl's never top of mind, right? I'd love to sit here and be like, oh my God, I wonder how it's going to go with Carl in the same house. I'm not thinking about that. I don't give a fuck. I gave that up when we broke up. I really, truly do not think about this man. I don't believe you. She's on that spectrum of like a little, like a smidgen angry to like more than a little angry. She's not indifferent though. I don't buy it.
I just don't think she ever loved him. Like, part of me is like, I do kind of believe she doesn't give him a second thought because he was to serve a purpose and he opted out. And so
Harsh.
she don't need him.
Yeah.
Like she said, her goal was a baby and a family. She didn't
was.
say, my goal was to be in love and start a family. Like that's not it. She wanted to check boxes. She always has her
You're right.
timeline and all that stuff.
You're right.
I don't get the sense that she has any tenderness toward him. I didn't when they were engaged. I was like,
No.
what is this uncomfortable performance? It's not good. So I don't know.
God. Oh, that made me so squirrely thinking about that. Really squirrely.
Yes. No, it is a good thing that that did not come to fruition. So Amanda and Lindsay now greet Kyle, and Amanda's sick. And why does Amanda cough like a 6-year-old? She goes like this huge, grotesque, wet cough, and it's everywhere throughout.
Cover your
this
mouth.
scene. Oh my God.
God.
She's like, everyone's sick. I'm like, I wonder why. Like, you are just projectile
Hacking.
Ugh.
So Amanda and Lindsay both say hi to Kyle kind of at the same time. And it almost seemed to me like Kyle and Amanda were like strangers. It was weird. It was so weird to me. It was so weird.
He was preparing. It was like almost 8:00, and he was preparing for his DJ set that he wanted everyone to be ready for at 9:30. So I'll just say, when I'm preparing for any kind of performance, I'm a fucking weirdo, and I'm in my head, and it's hard to like be normal.
Okay.
But yes, Amanda tells us that she's going to make every effort she can to keep it positive and make this a good weekend. But Kyle is not doing that. He's focused on DJing, which is the problem in their marriage. Is Amanda is there trying to make it work, and Kyle is there trying to be a DJ.
So in her confessional, Amanda says, obviously this summer for Kyle and I has been so rough so far, but if we're going to move forward and figure this out, we need to focus on the positives. I will do not whatever it takes, but like, I'm here to have a good time. So as long as no one ruins it for me, I'll be staying positive this weekend. And I was all, oh shit. Like, okay, this is a marriage. I can and can't at the same time understand what her saying is like not, when she said not whatever it takes, to me, I'm like, oh, she's so over it. She's already over it. She just hasn't said it yet.
I think like 3 years ago, she would have gone to a DJ gig sick.
Yes,
and now she's
totally.
like, I'm not going to risk my health for your thing. Because as she said last week, it doesn't happen in, it's not reciprocated. When she wants or needs his support, he makes himself unavailable.
Yeah, you're right. She already has been doing whatever it takes because she has been doing whatever it's taken in the last few years. And now she's not.
As best she can,
Absolutely.
within her human limitations. So whatever.
Is the no one can ruin it for me? Is the no one Kyle? Is that who she's talking about?
I'm not sure what that meant.
Yeah. Wild.
Probably sad.
So Amanda sits outside with West, Bailey, and Mia. She's hacking. She's sick, and she doesn't know how she's going to rally to go out that night. Jesse and Sierra are now outside as well. Jesse is sitting on the couch, and Sierra sits on the arm of it next to him, and he muses out loud for everyone to hear that there are plenty of places to sit, but she chooses to sit here. And West literally shoots daggers, and Amanda is looking at the both of them like, WTF.
Yeah, same.
Brutal.
I was
Brutal.
both West and Amanda. I was like, what are you doing? It's so gross.
Yeah.
And unnecessary. Just
Yeah.
don't do that.
Mm-mm.
Ew.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So in the kitchen, Lindsay's making pineapple upside down cake, and she doesn't ask. She tells Ben she needs help. And before we started talking about her, I was like, oh my God, she's chill. But now I'm just like, oh my God. Now I'm all fucked up about Lindsay again. I don't know what the hell she is.
She's just Lindsay. It's exactly what you said. She doesn't ask him to help her. She's just like, you'll help me do this.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, he did not seem to mind it. So they make small talk, and she asks if he cooks, and he says, breakfast. And I was all, double entendre? And then just in case that made her uncomfortable, he says, oh, I barbecue sometimes too. Both true, but also double entendre, right?
I don't know. And that is the mystery of Ben is like, did you mean that or not? Are you just delivering two facts that you cook breakfast and you grill? Or did you say breakfast, meaning like, I'll make you breakfast the morning after and then you bought it back with it? I don't know. Because Ben is so, there is nothing chemical coming off of him. It's so confusing. He seems to like her, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. And Lindsay, like us, says it's hard to get a read on Ben. On paper, he's a beautiful specimen of a man, right? But as far as if he's flirting, I have no idea. And I think
Lindsay.
that
Same.
goes for everyone. Weirdly, I think he is flirting with Lindsay, but it comes off no different than if he was ordering food at a drive-thru.
Oh,
it's
God.
just like, okay.
He must have done terribly on The Bachelor. Now I wonder if I do want to watch it. No, I don't think I do.
He said he nearly left because like the producers were like, you've got to get emotional, you robot. And he's like, okay. And like, if this is as deep as it got, I can see why the producers were like, oh my God, you're so hot and you give nothing.
Totally. So everyone's outside at this point. Kyle tells them that his set will start at 11 or 11:30 and go
I
about
was
2
Sierra
hours. Yeah.
going like 11:30.
Holy shit.
And I was Bailey, who was like, Billy Joel plays for 2 hours, not Kyle Cook, but okay.
So everyone goes inside to start getting ready to go, except for Amanda and Kyle. She tells him, I need to be held, and sits on his lap. And they kind of chat for a minute. And I was shocked that she wanted to be held, to be honest. I don't get hold me vibes from her at all right now, but I don't know.
I think she knew she was going to break news that he didn't like. So she was
Oh.
like, let me get in a position that's like sweet and vulnerable where you like me. It feels like we're close while I tell you I'm not coming.
Sometimes I feel like such a dum-dum when you say things that are so fucking obvious and I miss it.
I don't know. I don't know if that's what was going on. But once she said like, how mad would you be if I didn't come tonight? I was like, oh no.
So she asked him how bummed she'd be if she didn't go, if he's sick. And he's so lame. Like, he can't be direct. He can't be honest. The best he can do is say, I mean, I was hoping we could rally. And I'm like, we? Who the fuck is we? Why can't you just say, I was hoping you could rally? It's so fucking passive and I hate it. And this made me just as mad at the end when West was doing the same fucking thing when he was talking to Jesse. Just say it. I'm going to be bummed if you can't go. I get that you're sick. I really was hoping that you could rally and go, but I get it. Like saying we instead of I is just going to make you look like a fucking asshole, in my opinion. He just fronts, man. He fronts like he's this just bootstrapper of all bootstrappers. Just like, why don't you just motivation? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, then say fucking full chest, 10 toes. I'm bummed you're not going to fucking go. Not like, well, we were hoping it's just so gross. It's so stupid. It's so like gutless. I'm so triggered by this man baby. Sorry. All caps.
No, that one, like that, I didn't catch that, and it didn't. Yeah, but they're just.
It's childish. It's childish.
They both are. Amanda curled up in his lap like a baby instead of just saying like, "Hey, I'm sick. I'm not going to make it." Like, if it has to go for one, it has to go for both. And they are in this dynamic where she has to be a baby to ask for her needs to be met. And he has to say we to express himself. And like, it just needs to be over. It just needs to be over. It's not working.
I absolutely see your point. 100% agree, on board.
I don't like watching either one of them like that. I'm like, Amanda, you're better than this. And Kyle, you could try better at this. Maybe.
So then we see Jesse in Sierra's room, and they're in front of her mirror, and he's got his arms wrapped around her from behind. They're both wearing these terrible felt cowboy hats, and Sierra jokes, "What is this, our engagement photo?" And I'm just like, I'm done. I'm done. Hopefully this is the last episode that we see all this affection between the both of them, because Sierra's too good for it, and Jesse's disgusting. He's so gross. And in his confessional, he says, "Sierra's so hot, and we're having such a nice time. Last summer, she had just dated my best friend, so obviously I would never pursue it. But now, I just am thinking maybe Sierra would be open to something with me."
Hold, please. Last summer, you were dating Lexi, who you said you were in love with. So it's not, theoretically, it wasn't available to you because of that, not just because your friend had just dated her, you fucking asshole. He is trying to rewrite history like we're all idiots. And say, like, I was being respectful of my friend last year. No, you weren't. You were love bombing a little girl while sucking someone else's toe. And also, remember, he had his, wasn't he like rubbing Sierra's inner thigh on a pool float at one point? Like, he's
that's
all
right.
over the damn place.
When Lexi was out
You
of
have
town.
never been respectful to any woman who has crossed your path on this show. So I look forward to the day where you become the man that you claim you are, just some sweetie crooner boy who's just looking for a good girl. All I see you do is exploiting and objectifying and being disgusting about women and being completely disrespectful of your friend. And I'm not like a bros before hoes girl. I'm just saying, like, when he talks to West gets it right later, saying, like, I don't even think Jesse's there yet. But Jesse just tries, everything's a joke. It was the same with Lexi. Lexi yelled at him because he was saying, I was joking, sucking that girl's toe.
Oh, God.
If everything's a joke, he learned nothing. He's going to have the exact same argument with Sierra that he had with Lexi. The man is an impenetrable idiot right now.
100.
May he grow. But, like, good Lord, it's frustrating to watch him sell this bullshit and sniff it and love it.
Ew. Oh, God. Gross.
He's disgusting.
He's so gross. So Ben, KJ, West, and Jesse are in a boys' room. I don't know which boys' room they're in, but West asks Jesse, "Hey, what's up, man? Because you look spacey." And Jesse just says, "You don't care if I make out with Sierra, do you?"
The most hideous way to phrase that question, by the way. You're not going to be a dick, right? You're not going to be like a little bitch, are you? Oh,
Yeah.
Wow. You're a monster, Jesse.
He's so dangerous. He's so toxic. So West asks him if that's actually in the works. And Jesse says, "I don't know." And Ben and KJ start laughing, probably because they're like, what the fuck? And maybe to break the reasonable amount of tension in the room. Because
I think they laugh because it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
It's like, you are not about to ask this man who came into the room and told you that's the best night I've had with Sierra in like 1,000 years.
holding his fucking heart.
Saying the love of my life locked me. You were there for all of that, dude.
Yeah.
And now you're just going to casually be like, you're cool if I like finger bang her, right? You're not going to be a
Ew.
weirdo.
Oh, my God.
I'm with Ben and KJ. I'm like, this is laughable. You're a joke. And it's so disrespectful. It's like, it's of everyone. It's Sierra and West. It's awful.
To bring that up so casually in front of people that haven't been in this group of friends for a very long time, to not take West aside, maybe even off mic and be like, "Oh, no. On mic. This is what we signed up for. That's what they signed up for." But the tone, it was so rude. I just can't even believe it.
Well, there weren't cameras in the room. It was the surveillance cameras that caught the
That's right.
conversation.
That's
So
right.
he wasn't brave enough to do it in front of cameras. But I think he thought Ben and KJ would be like, come on, Wes, who gives a shit? Let him kiss her. Who
He's
cares?
so out of reality.
She's just a girl. It's so gross.
And then he tells him, "Well, I think if anything would happen, it would just be like a drunken for fun makeout kind of thing." I'm like, bullshit, dude. A, that is so fucking presumptuous of you, like to think that Ciara would even be on fucking board with that. And B, like, West is one of your besties, right?
Also, you a minute ago in your confessional said West isn't ready for what I'm ready for. I'm a mature
Totally.
adult ready for what Sierra wants. I'm here to give it to her. I'm a serious man. It would just be a drunken makeout for fun. Why is everyone being so weird? Because
Dude.
you're a fucking liar and a psycho and like you are. I mean, this kind of like the self-delusion is the stuff that scares me. You believe what you said in that confessional and you believe what you're saying right now. And I don't know how one whole human being can do that. That is some double life stuff that I don't want to know about.
I don't want to know either. I don't want to know either. It's so, there's so many wrong things. Like,
Ick.
you don't do a drunken makeout with one of your close friends' ex-girlfriends. It's one thing if there is like, it's undeniable to every single person that meets Jesse and Sierra. We're soulmates. Oh my God. I'm so sorry, West. I'm so sorry. But like, honestly, she's the love of my life. West, he's the love of my life. Fine. But if it's not that and explicitly that.
And you diminish Sierra by saying like, it would just
Yes.
be a joke to kiss her. She's just
Absolutely.
a woman. I
Yeah.
could kiss anyone. Who cares?
So
She's not
fucking
special.
gross.
It's so, again, cowardly. Just say like, I actually really like her and I actually want to try to pursue this like a thing. I feel ready for a relationship and I want one with her. I'm so sorry. And then you have to be ready to lose that friendship.
Totally.
But he wants to be one of the boys. He wants to be a bedbug. He wants to be Sierra's boo. You can't have it all unless you're honest.
Yeah.
And then it's hard because then some people won't like you for a while. Other people's will be great, but like you have to be a bad guy when you are pursuing what you really want. So
I bet Lexi feels so fucking validated watching this season. I bet she feels so validated, or she feels nothing at all. I don't know.
I hope she feels nothing at all. What a weird. And he was manipulating her, telling her not to talk to
completely.
the girls. Like he's scary.
He's dangerous. So KJ is like, that's wild. And Australian Ben just like shakes his hands at Jesse like, are you fucking kidding me? And then he says, bro. And poor Sierra has like no idea that this disgusting, repugnant conversation is even going down.
Yeah, God forbid you ask Sierra first. God
Right.
forbid you ask the woman you're going to try to stick your tongue down her throat.
I don't think she wants to even make out with him drunkenly. I really don't.
I think she would have, but I think he ruined it for himself, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. So then the cast is getting ready, except for Amanda, to go to Kyle's DJ set. And Ben comes in the kitchen wearing a really bad bucket hat and tinted wire rim glasses. And Bailey, even with her heart eyes emoji for Ben all day, every day, says, after taking one look at that hat, like, you cannot wear that hat. And Jesse says, oh, no, you should wear it. And Bailey's like, Ben, he's only saying that to ugly you up, and there's less competition. Take it off. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Lindsay walks in wearing this beautiful gold lame top with amazing drape. Such a cute outfit. Someone calls her a MILF, a certified MILF. I loved everybody's outfits. Well, I loved Mia and Ciara's and Lindsay's outfit. I don't remember what Bailey was wearing. I don't remember what Levi was wearing. I'm sorry. Sorry to those ladies. So, this made me so annoyed too. Kyle plays dad, tells Amanda not to be on your phone, just get some rest. Kyle, shut the fuck up. The audacity. If those words came out of my mouth after I'd already act like Kyle had for 9 seasons, I would have looked at everybody and been like, oh my God, I am such a fucking dick. I'm so sorry. Please. If you guys all want to hate me right now and throw a piece of fruit at my face, like I would totally get it.
I swear to God, this is again
No awareness.
Well,
Full hip cookie.
Or total awareness. And again, he's doing this for his investors to be like, see, it's her fault. She's going to be on her phone scrolling all night. If this marriage falls apart, it's because she can't be off social media. And like, I was so glad the editors showed Amanda in bed and like put on a snoring sound effect. She's sick. She fell asleep and went to bed. And he's there saying like, we'll try to be respectful when we come in. Okay, everybody. And God bless Carl for being like, you tell yourself that, dude. You're the one who opened Club Send It. You're the one, like, come on.
Ugh, what a
He's
douche.
insane.
He is. So we see montages of them at the club. Jesse is introducing Kyle's set, and he's just so fucking annoying and high on his own supply. Again, I love the fucking editors for doing the timestamps. At 12:55 a.m., Lindsay and Bailey are home first. Lindsay comments on how easy that it was to open the door this year. So this door is a character, and I fucking love it. Amanda's asleep. Lindsay and Bailey start putting the cardboard cutouts in people's rooms and beds. Jesse's is put in Sierra's bed. Kyle's is next to the plate of pineapple upside down cake because we all know how much drunk Kyle likes to come home and binge on carbs.
Exactly.
You can set your clock to it. So at 2:18 a.m., Sierra, Mia, Carl, and Jesse come home. And at 4:06 a.m., Ben, West, KJ, and Kyle roll home. And West jokes that he hates that the door works. We see that Ben is still wearing the unfortunate bucket hat, so he made the choice to keep that hat on all night.
Look, when you're that hot, it's like a way for girls to approach you, to be like, what's your crazy hat? It's a topic of conversation. It's an icebreaker. Anyways, Jesse goes to bed, thank God. And then we're in the kitchen with KJ and West and Ben.
Kyle, too.
And Kyle. Yes. And KJ, I love KJ. KJ's kind of messy and I kind of love him. He just brings it up. He's like, I can't believe Jesse asked you that shit. And Wes tells Kyle that Jesse had asked him if he could make out with Sierra. And Kyle asks if Sierra would be pissed if she heard that Jesse had asked that of her. And Wes, knowing Sierra, says probably. And Kyle thinks it's weird. And West is like, I think she'd destroy him. And then Ben asks West if Jesse's just like testing the waters. And West seems to think that is the case, that he doesn't think Jesse's there yet with Sierra. And then he's right to go like, which is, I don't know why he would bring it up to me. Like, it's so personal and painful and newly healing. You're just picking a scab, a very fragile scab off of a deep wound, Jesse. And then I do love that Ben is a little drunk and just sort of lays it out there and says, like, I understand why you would have a crush on her. Every time I talk to her, I'm like, she's fucking next level. And like, Ben, but it shows me that Ben is exhibiting restraint. He knows this is Wes' ex-girlfriend. Ben is hot. Sierra's hot. He could move on Sierra, and he is choosing not to. He's putting up a boundary because that would be inappropriate in this house with this person. Like, it just is insane that Jesse is so, he cannot see that. He can't see that that's the right move.
It's fucking so bonkers. It's either just a level of entitlement that I will never, ever know. Thankfully, I'm okay with that. I really am. Or something diagnosable with a code.
And KJ makes sure to point out, like, that's your ex-girlfriend.
Dude.
That's not just some girl. And everyone's like, that's pretty fucked up.
I did like that we saw that Ben actually does have something going on when it comes to like he clocked how rad Sierra is. Like he's not
She is undeniable, which is
I
the
mean,
more reason why I'm
empirical.
like, Jesse,
Yeah,
of
dude,
all the men
seriously.
on the planet Earth, Jesse Solomon things. And again, who is Jesse Solomon without Summer House? I don't think that man has a personality or a career. I don't know who he is. West will be fine.
Oh, completely.
You know what I mean? He actually loves sports and he actually loves his friends. Jesse, I don't know who the hell that guy is. And I don't think he's anybody without Bravo. And that is troubling. And Sierra's not going to have that.
Is a man with a closet full of tan pants and tan dad hats. And no thank you to both. Neither Wes nor Ben think that Sierra would make out with Jesse. And I'm like, gross. I don't think she would either. Anyway, the next morning is Saturday, July 19th, 8:48 a.m. Don't know why, but I love it. 8:48 a.m. Lindsay is FaceTiming with Gemma. It's a super cute conversation. KJ and Carl are going running. KJ is in like full old school sweatsuit, Rocky Balboa style, and I loved it.
And I also love that he comes back with like everything stripped off. It's like so hot and humid in the
can't even
Hamptons.
imagine. Yeah.
He must have been dying.
So the rest of the cast is waking up. Mia and Sierra share a bed, and Mia tells Sierra that she had a spicy dream about John Hamm, and Sierra says that she's very uncomfortable hearing that and glad they slept with a pillow between them. Thought it was
Sierra's
so
like,
fucking hilarious.
I'm uncomfortable. And Mia's like, I was too. They're so cute.
So cute. So Ben and Lindsay are on a couch by the pool outside, and she touches his arm and then says, sorry. And he's like, for what? She's like, well, I just touched you accidentally, which it wasn't an accidental touch.
No, they just kept touching back and forth, being like, I just did this accidentally where I touched you like this.
And Bailey's expression while she's watching them, like she has just no awareness of what it looks like on her face, but she's watching like a dog is watching people eat like a food that they're not giving the dog. And I was just like,
So
oh, honey,
cute.
yeah.
But she says she's impressed with Lindsay. She's like, Lindsay could flirt with a rock. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And they all just sit around and worship her. But this is where I love the generations, like everyone thought Summer House would go to shit when everyone, like all the old farts were there and they tried to bring in new people. But I kind of love how Bailey is learning from her elders in this situation. She's like, Lindsay's just completely confident and totally herself, and men are flocking to her. And it's like, that is it. That is the answer. And none of us want to believe it. We want to believe it's our boobs or our lashes or our cellulite or whatever. It's none of those things. It is confidence and self-assuredness. And often that only comes with age. Sorry about it.
I said the exact same thing. I said the exact same thing to Josh last night. I'm like, she's 10 years older than Bailey, and that is the difference. That is the difference right now. That's it. That's all it is. Yeah. Poor Bailey. Oh, poor Bailey. She asks Ben, hey, do you think I know how to flirt? And he says, yeah. And Amanda's all, have you seen her flirt? And he says, once or twice. But then we see a flashback to like literally 21 seconds ago where Bailey comments on Kyle's facial hair and that she likes a hairy man, which makes Ben say, I'm going to grow a mustache. I don't know that those things were related at all.
I think Bailey was, trying to flirt, and Ben was clearly putting a no on that.
Ay.
But which is fine. That's also like, that's part of the process, is also like coming to terms with that once I fully embody myself and my whole personality and I'm my most comfortable version of myself, it's not going to be for everybody.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So Ben tells Bailey, listen, I think you can turn it on when you want to. And this prompts Bailey to say, well, okay, I'm really going to turn it on today. I'm going to be a whore. And Amanda's all, the village whore. And Bailey says, listen, at the party, when I walk out, I want you to announce to everybody that the village whore has arrived. I am not a fan of the word whore, and I'm not a fan of equating the word whore with flirting or being a whore. And I was like, can we fucking not? Like, it's 2026, 2025, whatever. It really bothered me.
I mean, she used the word, you know what I mean? And I think she was just like trying to be cute and fun.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the boys didn't put that on her.
Oh,
and say,
no,
like,
I
we'll
don't
announce you
care.
as the village whore.
No.
I get that. I so relate to her of like, maybe it's the little sister in me, I don't know, where I would just always take things a little too far. I still do it sometimes at this stage of life, like flirting a little too hard with someone who I know doesn't like me, but I'll just try it one more time. And then when someone's like, you should be extra flirty, I'd be like, I won't just be extra flirty, I'll be a whore. It's like, why would I totally relate to being in that position of like, why would I say that? I don't mean that. That's an insane thing to do. But like, I don't know. There's something that happens where it gets away from me.
I get it.
Again, I'm projecting that onto Bailey, but
that's what we do here.
Yeah.
So Carl and KJ come back from their run, and Carl, opening the front door, notes we ran 6.6 miles in an hour and 10 minutes. I was all training for a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
In his confessional, Carl says that the Renaissance Fair party theme is one of the best we've come up with. I'm all, is it though? Okay.
Carl really lost me in this episode. Between underpants and the Ren Fair, I was like, what?
Yeah. They're going all out with turkey legs, armor, bales of hay, and it's an opportunity to be the best party they've ever had.
What?
I don't have
delusional.
any fucking idea. Yeah, dude. Like, no. I saw that blow up inflatable bar, and I'm like, you're in the Hamptons in the summer. You're going to be able to walk into that bouncy house and you're going to see fucking droplets. So Mia asks Carl, hey, how can I help? He just says, I think just positive vibes and enthusiasm.
He is just, God bless. I love him.
I love him so much.
And it's so earnest. It's so true to who he is. He's great. And then Mia asked KJ what time he came home, and he says with a laugh that he doesn't remember. And she's like, you had 2 girls sitting on your lap. And Carl's like, yeah, you were like Santa Claus. You had like a tower of girls around you. I couldn't get near you. And then we see a picture of the girls on his lap, and KJ he is kind of stinging the camera with his eyes like, I don't know about this. Like, and then he explains in his confessional what happened. And he says, the man part of me is kind of enjoying it. Like, oh, bro, you got all these girls on your lap. You're surrounded by girls. But then like my feminine side is like, this isn't right. Like if my mom saw this, she'd be like, what are you doing? Who do you think you are? Trying not to be a lover boy feels very fraudulent. I love this
I
kid.
love him so much.
I love him for experimenting and giving it a go. I love him for acknowledging, like, that doesn't feel right. Not that he'll never try it again, but like, he just is getting to know himself for sure. The more he tries to color outside the lines, the clearer the lines become. And that is a gorgeous thing that he's aware of it.
So here is a takeaway that Jesse, if he didn't see it last year after the viewer's reaction to his behavior with Lexi, KJ coming in, just laying it all out there. I'm anxious. I have anxiety. I am a lover boy. I talk about my feelings, just like his expression in the picture. You know that I've seen the discourse around him online. You know that the DMs he's getting, like everyone is talking about how fucking much they love him. And he's just being authentic from what we know, from what we're seeing. Whereas Jesse didn't learn shit from last year. And we all are getting even more disgusted with him than we thought possible. But look what's happening. He's putting on this like disgusting veneer, or it's probably not even a veneer. And KJ is being vulnerable and honest, and he's reaping the love, you know? So
yeah. I'm just remembering that like last season, Jesse blamed Sierra. He had Lexi blaming Sierra for the issues between him and Lexi. And Sierra and Jesse already had this fight last year that we see a preview of in the coming attractions. He literally has learned nothing. And again, he had a major cancer experience as a teenager and in his early 20s, and that is devastating and scary. However, last year he hurt a lot of people. And those, again, are the motivating moments in my life when I'm like, I don't want to hurt anyone anymore. I've got to learn more about myself and try to heal what is causing harm to people I love. And Jesse has done nothing. He's released albums and written songs, but like, you got to do some self-reflection or you're just going to repeat the same shit, which he's doing right now. And it's gross. That's all.
So gross. So Lindsay and West are chatting in her room. And she asks him how things are going between him and Sierra. And he says, good, fills her in on how well last weekend went, detailing how they stayed out late and really got along. But also tells her that Jesse asked him yesterday if he could make out with Sierra. And Lindsay is shocked. And KJ walks in and asks both of them, first of all, how are you doing? I fucking love him. That's the first thing he says. And I also loved that KJ was like practically laying next to West on the bed. And West puts his arm on his shirtless friend's back. And I'm like, normalize hetero man fucking affection. I loved it. And Lindsay sounds like me when Josh comes home with like even like an anemic slice of gossip. Like she's like, wait, West, back up. Jesse asked you in a serious way if he could make out with Sierra. And West says, I didn't think anything of it until Ben said last night that it was the weirdest shit ever. Then we cut to Jesse, Mia, and Sierra in Sierra and Mia's bed, and Jesse is in the middle of them. He removes the pillow that was protecting Sierra from Mia and her John Hamm dream from between him and Sierra, and he spoons her.
This, by the way, is why I think Sierra would have made out with Jesse, because this spooning is super intimate, we all know, and Jess even says, like, I'm going to try not to get a boner, and Mia is all of us when she goes, please don't.
Please don't.
And if you recall, like you said, earlier in the morning, Sierra was like, ew, I'm uncomfortable with you telling me you had a dream about John Hamm. Meanwhile, here's Jesse with his dick up against your ass in bed. So you know the difference between what's comfortable for someone you're sharing a bed with and what's not. And Sierra's crossing that line because I think she is attracted to Jesse, but I think Jesse's going to ruin it for himself. So
I really hope she's just enjoying the attention and that she's not attracted to him, but that's okay. If she is, it's fine. No one needs my approval to be attracted to Jesse fucking Solomon, but like, I just want better for her. So I'm absolutely doing any kind of stretch I can to make it that like she's not.
I mean, but I think it's just chemical. I don't think she's envisioning a life with Jesse
Got
Solomon. It's just chemistry, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And I also think it's healthy for young men and women to acknowledge that that's a thing. It's okay
Sure.
to like someone on that level alone and not need to think that you have to figure out a way to like make them your partner for life. Like, but Jesse's about to just blow it all up.
Oh
He's
my
so
God.
dumb. It's
Thank
so
God he's going to blow it
tragic.
up. Thank God. So back in Lindsay's room, she's trying to make sure she has everything straight. Jesse got a whole room of single guys together to make sure everyone knew that he wants to make out with her. And West is like, damn, Lindsay, you're good. I'm all, West, come on now. And Lindsay says, this was Jesse calling dibs on Sierra.
By the way, I'm with West when he was like, what? Like, I would have been so floored by the question. And because I would have been so sensitive about that breakup, I might have assumed that I'm like overreacting just because that's like a real tender part in me. So I'm glad that West is sharing this with a bunch of people and accepting their feedback, because he might have tried to be cool about it.
Talk himself out of feeling bummed.
Yeah. And I'm glad that many people are like, hey, this is absolutely not cool.
So then we see cuts of Jesse and Sierra snuggling. She's talking to him in a baby voice. Like, are you trying to warm your hands? And I was like, oh, gross.
You're just a little snuggler.
Gross. So West tells Lindsay, I don't think that she would make out with him. And Lindsay says, I am so confused by Jesse right now. Lindsay tells West, Jesse might be catching feelings for her.
Because West asks, like, what's different? And Lindsay's like, it's maybe getting deeper for Jesse.
I just don't buy it, though. It feels like a conquest. It doesn't feel like he actually likes her.
No, I think it's what he said. She's hot and they have a nice time together. He's not thinking like, is this the woman I want to talk about finances with? Is this the woman I want to raise children with? What he's not
She's
really
so
thinking.
interesting. She's an intensive care unit nurse. And
No, like Carl, when Carl said all the sweet things to her. No, Jesse is just looking at the boobs he laid his head on earlier in this episode.
God. So then everyone's outside and Jesse is playing a song for Amanda on a teeny tiny piano. Most people that are out there are setting up for the party, but not Jesse and Amanda. He tells her, I literally meet a girl, then write a song about her the next week, and then immediately send her the file. Is that cringe? And she's all, yes. And in his confessional, Jesse says, I did just write a song about being in love with your best friend, and it's so good. Ew. So Amanda tells him, sometimes being mysterious is cool. Put the song out, and then she'll hear it and ask, hey, did you write this song about me? And again in his confessional, Jesse says, I'm not going to say who it's about, but it goes, secretly, I want you so bad, but we've always just been friends. But once I say this, we can never go back.
He takes a big old breath and he sings it in his confessional. And I'm like, Jesse, you dork.
It's so dorky. So the producer asks him, does Sierra know that you wrote this song? And he's like, oh, I'm not saying it's about Sierra. So no, she doesn't know. But it's obviously about her. And it's just his fucking dumb expression and big
digging
mouth.
his own grave deeper and deeper.
Because Lexi is one thing to like stick up for herself. Sierra is going to be a whole other ballgame for Jesse that he is ill fucking equipped.
Yeah, except that, again, I just remembered that he got into this fight with her last year where she was like, you're disrespectful and you're a liar. And he was like, and then he had the fight with Lexi where she's like, not everything is a joke, dude. You can't play off everything as a joke. And he's just right back in the same ruts of behavior. It's terrible.
Oh, my God.
And then we wind up with West and Jesse in that pool float. And Jesse is telling West about this video that he'd taken, or Sierra had taken, of him and Sierra driving, holding hands on their way to the Hamptons. And Jesse had posted it and Sierra had written, oh, with an exclamation point. And he seems to think that that's some affirmation of her liking him or something. And yeah, I'm with you that like why you would tell your best friend about this. Like, but Jesse's just trying to normalize his shitty behavior. He's trying to make West feel crazy for not being cool with his best friend trying to get it in with his recent ex-girlfriend. So
Jesus.
It's gross.
So we can't see West's eyes because he has sunglasses on, but he seems absolutely radiating with I am not pleased with you energy and in a little bit of shock. And West asks, was that the video in the car that you took? And Jesse says, yeah. And Wes is all, so is it all jokey? Like he's trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. And Jesse just turns to him with this like weird horror movie, scary smile and laughs. He tells West, who West dated Sierra exclusively, and says, I think we've always had a good friendship and she's hot. Like, okay, Beavis, like, it's so gross. We've been vibing. We've been flirting. West looks at him with a look like, come on, dude. and says, okay, so you're asking permission, basically. And Jesse says, that's the nice thing to do, right? In case we got drunk and made out. I didn't want to be like... And Wes says, no, I hear you. And I'm like, oh, Wes, no, don't hear him. Wes tells Jesse, I talked to the boys, though, and they thought it was weird. I did not like, again, this is the same thing I had with Kyle. Okay, no, go ahead before I go off.
No, just that Wes says, no, I hear you. And Jesse's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's been a long time now. And it's like, it has been the most fraught 2 years of all of our lives. And I don't live at the summer house and I don't know these people at all. But I have thought about West and Sierra more than I care to admit. And I want them to be okay. And I hated West when he betrayed her. And I rooted for them when they started to rebuild their friendship. And I'm so proud of them for putting it on. Like, please do not try to say, like, it's been a long time. Like they broke up one day, never saw each other again, and are totally cool now. They're barely cool as of last weekend. And you're pulling this shit, you monster. So Jesse's
gnarly.
like, I don't know. It's been a long time now. And West is like, yeah, I agree. It's been a minute, but the boys thought it was weird.
Yeah. I really wish that West could have just said, I think it's weird. I get why he didn't.
But I also don't know. I think he's also a little bit under Jesse's spell here of like, he doesn't want to be weird about it, but it fucking feels weird. But I'm too close to it to know for sure. But it's getting reflected back to me from these other kind of neutral parties.
Margie, Jesse's grooming him. He grooms people.
He does. And that's why I'm saying, like, when he asked the question, you don't mind if I make out with Sierra, do you? As opposed to being an actual human being and going like, hey, Sierra and I are kind of getting close and I want to kiss her. I just want to run that by you. As opposed to being like, hey, don't be a big baby and say no, right? You're not a nerd.
God, I'm so grossed out. I feel like I need a Silkwood shower. Grody. So Jesse asks West, well, who thought it was weird? And West tells him KJ and Ben. And Jesse laughs it off and makes a gesture with his hand like he's swatting away a fly, like, I don't give a fuck what those guys think.
He doesn't give a fuck about anyone. He doesn't give a fuck about Sierra or West, and certainly not KJ or Ben. He does that dismissive, like, flicking, who cares?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Oh my God, it's so gross. I don't hate you, but I see you. So West tells Jesse, yeah, Ben was really wigged out.
And West says to Jesse, so on paper, you asked your boy if you could make out with his ex. And Jesse just like smiles with his big laugh. And West says in the most articulate, direct, kind way possible, I think most people in my position would call you a weirdo or a dickhead for asking me that. And like, yeah. And Jesse asks him like a child, like, really? What should I have done? Just not asked and not done it? Yes, this summer is not the time to do it. Or you wait until you and Sierra cannot hold back. You've fallen in love. It's so intense. You have to tell West. You can't go any further with each other before you tell your mutual friend. That's not the case. You spooned her and got a boner. That's as far as you guys have gotten. Like, do not do this to the people in your life and torture them and manipulate them and try to get, try to make someone feel like a dick for not giving you permission. It's so gross.
It's so
infuriating.
Disgusting. It's repugnant and vile.
Jesse wraps it up by saying, like, the fact that you dated her makes it a little weirder, but it won't stop me. And I was like, villain origin story line right there.
Right there.
It won't stop. The fact that you dated her, they were in love. All of America was invested in that relationship. We cried with Sierra. We worried for West, who sweat through his suit at that reunion because he was so distraught. Like, we've watched them both grow and change and come to accept what happened and find each other again. And now you're just going to shrug and be like, it's not going to stop me. Oh, I don't know what will, you weirdo.
I was so disgusted. It was like I watched in real time the like mustache grow and curl and the evil top hat and the cape and it's gross. Like he's
Mr.
gross.
Burns.
Like he needs to be ejected from the house. You know how they kicked out fucking what's her name? What was her name? Not Jules and
that was awful.
Jules and the fuck was Hannah's friend, the one that went on a date with Erica fucking Kirk of all people in season 4. It doesn't matter, but they got kicked out of the house. I think that Jesse should get kicked out of the house.
I think it's better that he's imploding and he will not be invited back. You
Oh.
know, I think this is more
Oh.
humiliating and painful because he could paint himself as a victim if he's like, they kicked me out because I just expect. No, if you blow up all your friendships and we all watch it, you have nothing to fall back on,
Yeah.
sir.
I can't wait to see what happens next week. Every fucking week, I'm all, God damn it, I have to wait till Tuesday. Shit.
I need a
Anyway,
break after this episode. Good Lord.
friend, what else did you watch?
What did I watch? Below Deck Med. I'm not caught up, but I'm still watching Vanderpump Rules, and I do think it's excellent. And they got a second season, and I'm so happy about it. I got a little bit more caught up on Beverly Hills, but I'm not all the way there. And what about you? What did you watch?
Started season 2 of The Gilded Age, finally. Real Houses of Beverly Hills, The Potomac Reunion, and some lame home renovation shows because sometimes I just need absolutely like no stakes. Like not even Beverly Hills stakes. Like I need 0.0 stakes. So yeah. And what was your antidepressant this week?
I don't know. I'm going to have to take a second. I'm sorry. Do you want to go ahead?
Just, my therapy appointment. It feels like this was the one that kind of broke through finally. It gave me like the last bit of clarity I needed to like not feel fucking insane. So that was great. And also just I've been trying some new ADHD meds and they seem to be really fucking helping. And I'm so fucking grateful. So that's it.
Better living
Therapy
through chemistry.
and yeah, new meds.
I guess my antidepressant would be I'm in a little bit of an exercise routine, which I have not been doing for quite some time. And that is very good for my mental health. I'm starting most mornings, early mornings, by doing something physical, which is really helping with my anxious rumination that can really take hold if I don't do something else in the morning. And for a while, I was trying like journaling and prayer and meditation and that stuff. And it just wasn't, I just couldn't, it wasn't doing it. So I'm getting some reprieve by taking a sweaty yoga class or this Stairmaster class for your butt and just
Ooh,
getting out of bed and getting sweaty first thing in the morning. How very Carl of me.
I love
But
that.
it's working.
Yeah. Oh my God, my mouth is tired. Everyone, thank you so much for listening. This was an extra long episode. These are just jam packed. These summer house kids are giving us a lot to work with. So, everyone, just take care of yourselves the best that you can. Do the best you can with what you have. And we'll be here next week.
We'll talk next week.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Ramona and Margie are obviously not doctors and do not provide medical advice. Their content is intended to be used for entertainment purposes only. It is not intended to be, should not be interpreted as, or used as a substitute for medical advice or a diagnosis of any health or fitness problem, condition, or disease, nor a recommendation for a specific test, doctor, care provider, procedure, treatment plan, product, or course of action.
My mom isn't a doctor.